Imagine this. Your phone rings, it's a number you don't recognize, but you worry the call might be important, so you pick it up anyway. And it turns out it's a debt collector calling, trying to squeeze money out of you. What you say next could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you say the wrong thing. But if you know the right thing to do, you can turn the tables on the debt collector, and instead of you paying them, they pay you. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you should do and what you shouldn't do when a debt collector is harassing you with endless phone calls. My name is Mike Waslick. I'm one of the lawyers at Ricardo & Waslick here in Florida, and together with my partner, when debt collectors give you hell, we help you give it back. And today we're going to talk about the things you should do and the things you shouldn't do when a debt collector calls and tries to squeeze money out of you. One thing you should never do when a debt collector calls is give them any information over the phone. You shouldn't give them your name or your address or confirm any personal details about yourself whatsoever. You certainly don't want to give them anything like account numbers or routing numbers, anything that might enable them to sneak into your bank accounts and take money without your permission. Remember that when you're talking to a debt collector on the phone, anything you say can and will be used against you. So tip number 2, what you should do instead of giving information to a debt collector is you should ask questions. Make them give you information because anything they say can and will be used against them by you. Ask them questions like, who are you? Why are you calling? Who are you trying to reach? What's this about? Every time they answer your question, they're opening themselves up to liability because every statement they make has to be completely true. If not, they've broken the law, and that gives you leverage to deal with them in a permanent way. Here's tip number 3. You should tell them that it is never convenient for you to talk on the phone with them. And the reason you do that is because under federal debt collection laws, when a debt collector calls you and they know it's not a convenient time for you, they are breaking the law. That does a couple things. One is it stops the phone calls. But number 2, if they don't stop calling, they're breaking the law, and that gives you leverage over them again so that you can resolve your debt collection problem for good. And that leads us into tip number 4, which is never talk to a debt collector on the phone at all if you can help it, because every minute you spend on the phone with a debt collector is a minute of your life that is wasted, or even worse, is going to be used against you. There's nothing you can explain to them that's going to make them go easy on you. There's no story you can tell them that's going to make them have sympathy for you. There is no set of magic words that you can use when talking to a debt collector that will make your situation any better. It is much better for you to completely avoid the conversation altogether. And that takes us into tip number 5. When you get a call from an unknown number, let it go to voicemail unless you absolutely have to answer unknown calls. Because when a debt collector is leaving a voicemail instead of talking to you directly, there's almost no danger that you're going to leak information that can be used against you, but they are creating a permanent record of their communications with you. And if they say the wrong thing, they may be breaking the law, giving you the leverage that you need in order to make your debt collection problem go away forever. And tip number 6, which is going to be really easy for you to do if you followed my other tips and avoided conversations with debt collectors altogether, is never agree to anything on the phone. Never agree to settle a debt, never agree to any kind of payment plan, never agree to give them access to bank accounts, never agree that the debt is yours, never agree to anything on the phone. There is no agreement that you can make on the phone with a debt collector that's going to help you. It will only help them. If a debt collector makes you some kind of promise on the phone and they refuse to put it in writing, there's a reason why. They don't intend to keep their promise. So if you get some kind of promise from a debt collector and they won't put it in writing, understand that it's a complete illusion. It's a lie designed to trick you into giving them something that they can use against you. So if a debt collector makes you a promise, always get it in writing. Never make any kind of agreement with a debt collector on the phone, ever. So that leads us to tip number 7. Document everything. Make a record of all the dates and times you get calls from debt collectors. If they call you too often, they might be breaking the law, giving you leverage, again, to solve your debt collection problem forever. But even if not, you should keep track of every time a debt collector tries to talk to you on the phone and every time a debt collector actually does talk to you on the phone. Keep track of the date and the time, who you spoke with, the name of their company, what they're calling about, the amount of the debt, anything else that they tell you, all the information they give you. Keep that written down, or if you have a call log on your cell phone, you can get screen captures. If they leave a voicemail, you can save an audio file. If they leave a voicemail, your phone might transcribe it for you. You can get a screen capture of that. Anytime a debt collector tries to communicate with you or does communicate with you, there's a chance that they might say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, breaking the law and again, giving you leverage in order to get rid of your debt forever. And that leads us into our bonus tip number 8, which is this. When a debt collector is talking to you on the phone, there's a very good chance that they might be breaking the law. And when they break the law, the amount of money they owe you is going to far outweigh any kind of money that you owe them. When they owe you money, that's a great way to solve your debt collection problem. Now, how do you take advantage of that? Well, when a debt collector has broken the law, lawyers like me will represent you for free because we get paid by the other side. Federal and state debt collection law provide that not only do they owe you money for the damages that they cause through their law breaking, but they have to pay for the attorney that you hire in order to get that money out of them. So when a debt collector breaks the law, that's your path to total victory. They write you a check, they pay for your attorney's fees, and they wipe out the debt forever so that you will never have to hear about it again. How do you know if a debt collector has broken the law? Well, we track 53 different ways that debt collectors might break the law, and we offer a free email course so that you can learn how to spot those violations in your own cases. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can sign up for that free email course to learn those 53 ways in which debt collectors might be breaking the law. And once you've found a way in which your debt collector has broken the law and you want them to write you a check and make your debt go away forever, you'll want to find a lawyer who can help you get that done for free. If you're in Florida, you can call our firm. Our phone number is in the description below. If you're outside the state of Florida, you might want to search for a lawyer that handles FDCPA claims, Fair Debt Collection Practice Act claims. And if you have a valid case, they should be able to take your case for free. Now, if you want to learn more about how to use debt collection violations to solve a debt collection problem for good, I want you to watch the video I'm going to put on screen now. It'll help you figure out whether or not you've got a debt collection violation in your case and what you can do about it to solve your debt collection problem forever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.